The lengthiest conflicts in human history. In human history, conflict and war have been cruel realities of life. Nations have engaged in battles that have altered the course of events throughout history, as well as protracted wars that continue long after their participants have died. The following documents look at some of the longest battles and conflicts in history, whose repercussions can still be felt today on both a national and individual level. One must investigate who started these historical battles, why they began, the results, and probably most significantly, when these centuries-old hostilities eventually came to an end in order to comprehend modern tensions. After all, without deliberate self-education, future generations cannot snuff out the violent potential of humanity. This, 5 the lengthiest conflicts in human history. 1. Reconquista, 781 years. The Reconquista was a protracted conflict between Spanish and Portuguese soldiers against the Muslim rulers of the Iberian Peninsula that lasted an amazing 781 years. An Islamic Berber force crossed the Strait of Gibraltar approximately 711 CE, sparking the start of the battle. By 718 CE, the Moors had taken over a large portion of Iberia after these invaders had reached Portugal and Spain. From the Cordoban Caliphate's rise to power in the 8th century to its collapse in the 11th, Christian kingdoms were subjugated by its might. Following that, Christian kingdoms gradually developed to rule the peninsula. Although there were several triumphs and losses on both sides over the course of these centuries, Granada, which is now in southern Andalusia, was finally captured by Ferdinand II and Isabella I in 1492 CE. With that loss, one of the longest recorded battles came to an end, and as Iberia entered the Renaissance, a new age of Catholic Christianity began. 2. Roman-Germanic Wars, 708 years. The Romano-Germanic Wars were a series of conflicts that lasted 708 years, from 113 BC to 596 AD. This clash between the two civilizations led to the displacement of the Roman Empire and the ancestral lands of the Germanic people from the 2nd century BC to the 10th century AD. Although many battles and alliances took place during these centuries, a key event was the defeat of Romulus Augustus at the hands of Odoacer in 476, which marked the official end of the Western Roman Empire. For the next 120 years, Frankish and Visigothic rulers continued to dissect the Roman Empire while engaging Byzantine generals in the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine-Lombard War overlapped with the Romano-Germanic War, and it was at this point that Western Rome ceased to exist, ending a 708-year conflict. In short, the Romano-Germanic War lasted an unprecedentedly long period of time and affected European territories. 3. Anglo-French Wars, 706 years. The Anglo-French Wars were a 706-year series of conflicts, lasting from 1109 CE until Napoleon's second defeat in 1815. At this point, Napoleon's empire succumbed to the combined forces of Napoleon, Europe. The Anglo-French War was mainly aimed at controlling French lands and included important battles such as Agincourt, Crécy, and Waterloo. The early struggle saw the successful deployment of the legendary English archers, who were trained from youth to wield heavy yew bows. However, the Anglo-French War also had far-reaching consequences beyond Europe, playing an important role in the formation of independent colonies abroad. For example, France provided essential resources to the United States during the American Revolution of 1775. It is interesting to note that although there were many conflicts between France and Britain during this period, they were not continuous. Instead, relatively long periods of peace alternated. This sporadic frequency illustrates how dynamic the geopolitical situation is at a time when tensions can shift from war to peace in a short period of time. 4. Roman-Persian Wars, 681 years. The Roman-Persian War involved the two most powerful empires in the ancient world. The wars began in the mid-1st century BC and did not end until 628 CE, lasting a staggering 681 years. The war began with the failed negotiation of an alliance between Mithridates II and Lucius Cornelius Sulla, followed by the invasion of Mesopotamia by the Roman general Marcus Crassus in 53 BC. During these wars, there were periods when both sides achieved significant victories over each other. Ultimately, Eastern Roman Emperor Heraclius and his brother Theodore dealt the fatal blows to the Persian Empire, and the Persian ruler then succeeded in securing peace. Even today, the wars between the Roman Empire and the Persians remain among the longest and most influential in history, as technological innovations have transformed global military tactics for many centuries to come. 5. Byzantine-Bulgarian Wars, 675 years. The Byzantine-Bulgarian Wars were a series of conflicts lasting 675 years between the Eastern Roman, Byzantine, Empire and Bulgaria. The war began when Khan Asparuh led his people, the Bulgarians, across the Danube River into Byzantine territory in 680 CE and established their kingdom. Although the Bulgarian Empire and its successes posed a significant threat to the sovereignty of Byzantium, throughout the centuries-long conflict the two empires achieved a degree of peace and security, certain by concluding treaties and lasting armistices. This peace was finally shattered under the reigns of Tsar Simeon and Tsar Ivan Alexander, determined to expand their empire deeper into Byzantine lands. The final war in the series resulted in victory for Bulgaria in 1355 CE, ultimately leading to Ottoman conquest, marking the end of both empires.